Okay, hi everyone. Today I'm just gonna be teaching you how to make a kind of effect like this picture. Um, I've seen it on mobiles and stuff, the high-end ones. Um, like kind of like the HTC Desire. Um, but yeah, let's just get started. Alright, first of all, open up Paint.net. Now, by default, Paint.net will be set at a 800 by 600 canvas size. You can leave it at that if you want, but to make it easier for newer people, I'm just going to do 800 by 800. So just go to Image, Canvas Size, or you can press Ctrl Shift R, and just change the height and width to 800, and click OK. Alright, now you should be left with this looking thing. Just go to your paint bucket tool and change your primary color to black, and just make your whole canvas black, and then you should be left with that. Next, make a new layer, and then go to your secondary color, which should be as default white. Click on more, and then change your transparency in alpha to 0. Oh, sorry. Once you've done that, go to your primary color, and you can do this with any colors you want. I'm just going to be doing green, yellow, red, and blue. So yeah, get your first color, and then go to your gradient and select radial gradient. Start from the corner, or whatever corner you want, and then just drag it out till each side, the top and the left hand side, is just over halfway. Once you've done that, then make a new layer, and then get your next color. Mine will be blue. Corner again, drag up until it's just over halfway, and do that with the next two colors. Alright, so you should be left with something that looks like that, and you've got 5 layers. Then what you got to do is blend all your colored layers, so all your radial gradient layers down, but leave your background separate. And then once you've done that, make a new layer, and then I don't know, whatever works best for you, but for this I find purple works best. Get a purple, and then just make a gradient like that, another radial gradient, to fill in that kind of black spot. Once you've done that, go into effects, then blurs, and then put it on about 200. We'll be using a Gaussian blur, so 200, and that'll make that blend in pretty nice. Okay, then move that down, and that's what you should be left with. Then once you've blended that down, do a Gaussian blur on it of about maybe 30 to 50, whatever you find works best for you. 200's looking pretty good for me at the moment, so I'll just use 200. Remember, this is only quick. Once you've done that, blend that down with your background layer, so you should just have something that kind of looks like that. You can make it brighter if you want, just by going into adjustments and brightness and contrast, whatever you want to do really, but I'll just leave it like that for now. Once you've done that, make a new layer, get your paintbrush tool, and make your primary color white, and then just go around making white dots of different sizes. Yeah, I'll just quickly do this. In the first picture I showed you, I'll quickly just show you again. Not all of the dots are completely white. I used slightly different shades, like a light grey shade, which you'll usually find just down here right next to the white. But yeah, for this tutorial I'll just stick with white, nice and quick. You can muck around with whatever you want. You shouldn't really need to add too many dots, so once you've done that, then duplicate that layer about 3 times, well, twice actually, so then you should have 3 layers of all the exact same dots. Now, your first layer should be fine, then your second layer, just go into adjustments, layers, and then rotate and zoom. Then just like, find a nice kind of rotate. Don't worry if it looks like they're overlapping, we'll fix that later. So, that looks pretty good. And then finally for your last layer, rotate and zoom that. Now you might want to rotate that a bit, but also just zoom in a little bit, or something like that. And then try not to make it look like it's a pattern or anything. So, there, that looks good. And then once you've done that, change each, double click on the first layer and change the opacity to about 50 or 54, whatever, in between there, it's fine. Do that for about each one. Alright, now it shouldn't really matter what opacity you have it on as long as it's in between, it's around 50. Then go to your first layer 2 and just Gaussian blur that at a level of 1 or 2. I'll just stick with, I might go 2 for this. Remember, if you've got bigger canvas size, you're gonna need bigger blurring. That's also if you're using bigger dots. Then for layer 2, Gaussian blur that at about 4 to 6, whatever works best for you. Hold on. And then finally your very last layer, Gaussian blur that at about 10. Sorry about my Paint.net, it likes to screw up sometimes. And there you have it. It's meant to kind of give that kind of depthy look, like the furthest away being more blurry, the closest being more sharp. If you really want to use the lighter greys, use the greys for the further away dots, because when stuff gets further away it also gets darker. That depends on the type of thing, but yeah, hope you enjoyed the tutorial.